Welcome to 5 Stripe Weekly. What league will be the first to open in the States? And this week in the Soccer Trivia Showdown, it's the second edition of Me vs. Tanner. Coming up. Welcome to the show, 5 Stripe fam. I'm AJ and this is Tanner and Mark. Before we get into it, become a part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube or hop over from Facebook and subscribe. This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern. Follow our Twitch for new streams and surprises on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/ATL UTD FanTV. So let's get into the news, and first bit of news is that MLS has a working proposal for a return to play tournament in Orlando, and that includes seeded groups and potential regular season stakes. The 4 seeded groups will include teams at the spearheads, including Atlanta United as the US Open Cup winners, LAFC as the Supporters Shield winners, Seattle Sounders as the MLS Cup winners, and because they're in the area, Orlando City as one of the seeded teams as well in those groups. There would be 5 games that count toward the regular season, potential expanded playoff field implications. But a new report came in today on Wednesday when we're filming this that said that the process of altering that has been proposed as well. That the return to play tournament is going to be possibly 3 games instead of 5 games. That's reporting from The Athletic and originally reports from ESPN. But I mean, all in all, it would be about 2 months that the players would be just stationed in Orlando. What do you guys think of this proposal and the plausibility of it? I know MLSPA and a lot of the players, they probably and mainly had an issue with the pretty much 10 weeks that they were going to be in Orlando. Tanner, what do you think?
I mean, it's only 2 weeks longer than that anyway, and it still sounds kind of silly. I'm confused. Is this supposed to replace the regular season, or is this just to get them playing again, and then we're going to play the regular season? Or...
Yeah, it's playing again, and then we will resume the regular season if and when that can happen.
And so it's it's a little bit
confusing.
Then
what's really even the purpose of this? Why not just keep training and then just wait for the regular season? Why force people to go away for a meaningless tournament to play 3 games in Orlando over 2 months that no one on the playing side seems to want to do in the first place?
Right. It seems like they want to, kind of adhere to the, I think the broadcast rights that they will be losing if they're not playing all the games, which I think at this point we can all assume that not every single game will be played. And so at least they will be making ESPN some money, which was one of their broadcasters. I don't think Fox Sports or anything like that has any play in all this, obviously, but I think Disney does own Fox now, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day who broadcasts it. It's just a matter of they want to at least probably make some money for their business partners. It seems like, huh? What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, it's just complicated. I mean, and then it seems like some of the games would count towards the regular season, and then like the tournament aspect doesn't, but they're still hoping to get. I think they said about 18 regular season games on the back end of this. I don't know, man. Yeah, it just seems like it just seems a little messy. Again, I know they've one of the things they worked on too is cutting down on the time that they'd have to be in Orlando because that was one of the main backlashes from the players. But even with reduced time, it feels kind of pointless, and I don't know. It's difficult, obviously, because of the situation to even to really think about sports. I guess there are some people who have to, in terms of the league and the teams. So, but
that's kind of what I'm saying, Mark. That's what I'm saying. Is if you're still worried about all that other stuff, this seems like a wholly unnecessary risk to try to sequester 2,000 people in Orlando for 8 weeks to play 3, 4, 5 meaningless games that may affect the regular season, they may not. Then just don't play them. What's the point of it? You seem to be risking a lot of people's health for nothing. And I get the whole TV thing, but surely the players don't go for this. And sorry for cutting you off, Mark, but I think we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going with it. It's just hard for me to like really commentate on this. And like I just don't I don't like this idea. I don't like this particular idea. Like other sports leagues, you know, like in other situations, and we'll get to NWSL in a little bit, but like, you know, like leagues that have a plan, that something that makes sense, something that all the players agree to, fine. But MLS doesn't seem like it's there.
Yeah, and we all sure want MLS to return, but we want it to do so when it's safe and it's plausible for all involved. And when you tear away a family from the, their father or whatever, or their husband, and you force them to deal with this kind of isolated in a whole different type of situation when it's already hard enough. And obviously, it leads to a lot of strain everywhere, and so it seems.
But again, it's not just the players, though. You know what I mean? It's the players, it's the
coaches,
support staff, it's the club media teams, it's all
everybody.
These people that goes with the whole. You're just basically taking all the clubs and you're going to take them to Orlando and say you have to stay here for 2 months. Why? To play for a trophy that doesn't mean anything, that no one will care about ever. For what reason? Like, nah, bun this whole thing, man.
But so. If and when it will happen, we will see. But this is one of the many proposals and also many leaks that have happened recently that the commissioner is definitely trying to crack down on. And basically, if Don Garber, the commissioner of MLS, has pretty much said that if there are any more leaks, they will be pretty much finding the origin of it and dealing with whomever does leak that the info. And that's pretty insane. That's like wow. I mean, that's a little bit scary stuff from the commissioner.
I don't like Don Garber. Don Garber needs to go. Like, I get that he's gotten the league expanded, but like, I just don't think he's not a soccer guy. He's not. He's an American football guy, or not American. He's from some other sport. He's not a soccer guy, and like, he needs to figure some shit out because the league's getting confusing at this point.
Yeah, well, I will definitely say that that's Tanner's opinion and not representative of this podcast. And so if the league is watching, that's just one person's opinion on this podcast in case they try to come down.
At this point, it's just like, I'll stand by that. Like, I think that he's done a good job, but it also doesn't feel like there's a plan. Like, it just keeps expanding, and it seems like whoever offers the biggest amount of money can skip the line, like Charlotte. And they just skip the line. You just want to make sure that whenever they're expanding, they're doing it right, and the clubs are going to be in the best place to succeed. And you're putting it in places where soccer can succeed, and you can have full stadiums. And it just feels like expansion's great, and Atlanta's good, and we're lucky because we hit big with our expansion team. But there's a lot of clubs in the league that are already in the league that you need to look at and be like, these clubs are not healthy. And you need those clubs to be healthy for the rest of the league to be good as well. And it's just like, at what point in time do you need to just stop and say, okay, where are we? What can we do to make this product better, as opposed to just going, let's go get the next expansion fee. Let's go get the next expansion fee. And let's get to a bajillion teams. What's the plan? And it feels like at this point, I haven't seen anything close resembling a plan. So that's why I'd like there to be a little bit more clearer leadership in terms of what the actual future of the league is beyond expansion. Because right now, all I see is just money getting. And that is my opinion, but I just feel like I made it at least expand upon it and put it out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for doing that. And yes, agree that there needs to be more transparency, definitely, from the league on a whole. But on to lighter news, and Joseph Martinez had his birthday week last week, and on his IG post recently, he thanked everyone in a really, really heartfelt message. And so I'm going to go ahead and read it for you guys. The messages of affection received during these days filled me with eternal joy and deep sincerity. I want to say to all who wrote to me that I will always carry them in my heart emoji. I have many reasons to continue fighting with love for what I do. Soccer emoji, fire emoji, and kind of what do you call it? Pumping the showing the guns emoji. And yeah, I mean, it's Joseph Martinez. I mean, everybody of course loves him, but him showing that amount of, like, I think, gratitude and him having good vibes during this time, I think also very vitally important. But yeah, just really good to see. And yeah, he's still in Pittsburgh, I believe, and I think he just came back, I think, this week after some of that rehab and whatnot. But moving on from that, Miles Robinson was in his crib and he's repping the legends, the hip-hop and rap legends that have unfortunately gone way too early in Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac on his walls. I just thought it was a really dope, like, almost Fathead-esque type of thing. And yeah, I mean, God, like, I want those things. I want those things in my house. I mean, I looked them up, full transparency, and they were like $35. I'm immediately gonna try to order them.
Dude,
what about you guys?
I mean, I'm not, to be honest, like, I'm not a big hip hop kind of guy. So as much as like I know and respect the two of those guys and what they've done for music and culturally, but like, that's dope. I mean, I think they're dope. I just probably wouldn't have them up in mine, but they're dope as hell, that's for sure. I feel like a poser if I put them up in mine, basically, because like I don't listen to their music, so like. Yeah.
No, and to be fair, yeah, you're a little younger than
age does not have an effect on music if you like music.
But
I've listened to them, but it's not what I like listen to. It's like I will not actively go and listen to it.
Yeah, no, I grew up with it, and it's definitely ingrained in my kind of music palette, and so definitely it's something that, like, oh my God, the fact that I think he's younger than you as well. We're about the same age. Not to out your age, but
I'm 27. 27. I'm not old.
But Mark, how are you feeling about the Tupac and Biggie? What do you call it? You know,
reminiscence. No, I mean, I was just thinking, like, because at that point, like when they were big, like I was in Trinidad, and I just remember hearing them on the radio, you know, and like Biggie in particular, I feel like this distinctly the first rapper I remember hearing, listening to. So like some real early memories. So yeah, I mean, it's great that somebody that Miles Robinson's age like appreciates them, you know. So and it speaks to
I think it comes
timelessness
from like
of
a
their
really
music.
Yeah, he comes from a really musical family as well. I think his dad's like a actual working musician, and so yeah, I mean, people can surprise you. It's just it's insane. But moving on from that, former captain Michael Parkhurst, he has attempted to cut his own hair during the quarantine, and I mean, it looked like he was doing a decent job. I don't know if he had a mirror in front of him or not, or he was just kind of freewheeling it outdoors, but that's one way to do it. And we'll talk more about players' haircuts in a few around the world, but I know definitely, like, my hair is definitely been cut by my girlfriend, so it's not, professionally cut. It's people are doing what they can at this moment, and the quarantine haircut of choice seems to be just buzzing it for many people. I know not of the choice for people on this podcast right now, as Mark is growing out his fro, and Tanner, I'm not really sure, but it's just growing.
I've just got long hair. Yeah, it's just growing long.
Yeah, and it really, honestly, it doesn't look too bad, in spite of some of the other people that will
I haven't even done my hair today. I can actually put effort and make my hair look better than what it does right now. So yes, it is possible.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for not no effort whatsoever. But
I've had a haircut since February.
Oh yeah,
insane, bro.
Well, I mean, I usually go like a month or two. I don't get haircuts all the time because my hair's so long. And it's just like I didn't anticipate in February that I wouldn't get a haircut in April.
For 4 more months, yeah.
Oh God.
But moving on from that and staying with Michael Parkhurst, he has welcomed a new puppy into his family, Deacon, I believe, or yes, something like that. What is his puppy's name? And it is freaking adorable. Oh my God. We're showing the video right now, and I think obviously maybe kind of inspired a little bit by Spike, ATL UTD pup, and
he's adorable.
Look
at him getting the ball. He's so cute.
Oh my God. It's just.
But anyway, staying in the United States, the National Women's Soccer League, NWSL, will return on June 27th with a 25-game tournament near Salt Lake City. That league announced on Wednesday, and it will be the first U.S. league in a team sport to resume play since the shutdown. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, and I think it's also great for the NWSL that people starve for sports. They can maybe switch over to the NWSL and really get into it. So, what do you guys think about it?
No, I mean, I think it also should be noted that it's not just a marketing opportunity for NWSL. I mean, like, first of all, there are some caveats as to why they're the first. Like, it's a 19 league. I think Utah, in particular, is a pretty good setup for them to be able to pull this off. And, they have a like, I'm a broken record on this, but they have a protocol on testing, which is what any of these leagues need if they want to resume. So, I mean, like they're gonna do their preseason in their home markets and then go to Utah for the actual, tournament or whatever. I think from what I've read, I think it's well planned. I think they're going about it the right way. And yeah, I think it will be a good opportunity for them, to get to showcase it a bit, as it'll be one of the few sports on at the time. So, but yeah, I think that's I commend the plan overall. Obviously, a lot of planning went into this. Obviously, they discussed it with the players. So, yeah.
Any thoughts, Tanner?
Pretty much with him on that. No, it's good to see. I mean, it'll be good, hopefully, exposure for them if they can get on, get them on TV and get them out there, because I think that'd be really good for the league, because the quality of those players is really, really good. There's a lot of those women that won, the fourth World Cup playing in that league, most of them. So, get out there and watch them, support them, and all that. So yeah, I'm happy for that. Hopefully, everything goes off without a hitch.
Indeed. And so, moving on to world football, Barcelona superstar Lionel Messi. He's been delighted at having key players back and them in group training and whatnot, but he admits that playing with no fans will be, quote, spooky. He also said that the La Liga season restarting kind of feels like it's starting from scratch, quote unquote. And, that's even on the heels of Barca only being 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. And they pretty much are looking to start June 8th. And so, yeah, very interesting from, La Liga. I think they echo a lot of people's kind of sentiments about the fans not being in the stadium. It's just an empty feeling, a soulless feeling. In spite of, Bundesliga having games already and, kind of in some of the broadcasts baking in kind of cued audience and, atmosphere and whatnot. But
is that being handled by the broadcasters, or is that actually in the stadium?
No, it was handled by the broadcasters, so yeah, the players don't hear any of that.
Okay.
It was like German Sky Sports kind of had their own, and it was just choice by choice on broadcast if they want to do that. So yeah, it is definitely a little eerie, and some of them are cueing it to when somebody does something well, and they'll have the crowd rise a little bit.
Yeah, they've had the whistling and everything.
Yeah,
it's like whoever's been doing it's been doing a good job. Like they have someone live mixing it or something. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but it still is then you look at the stands and it's just like, okay, this is a farce, obviously.
Although I think it was Bayer Leverkusen who had cutouts in the stadium. I was like, oh, look, they filled the stands. It looks nice for the broadcast, at least.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think it was Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. I think that had that too. But there's the big derby in Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund in Der Klassiker. Unfortunately, if you're a Dortmund fan, you lost again. Unfortunately, it was 1-0 to Bayern Munich. And Dortmund's manager, Lucien Favre, he said it was brutally difficult that it will be brutally difficult to catch Bayern Munich after that Klassiker loss. And it's pretty much, I think, Tanner, you tweeted out, it's good game. I mean, it's pretty much good league. It's done probably. I mean, it's once again, Bayern wins the league.
Yeah, unfortunately so. And I mean, it started off as a really, really competitive season because Bayern got off to a slow start, and you had teams like Borussia Mönchengladbach and RB Leipzig that were doing really, really well. I mean, Leipzig was up there for a long part of the league, but they've dropped points in back-to-back matches now. In 2 out of the 3 games, they've had a draw, win, and a draw because they drew again today. So Leipzig fell away, Gladbach fell away, and then Dortmund more inconsistent at the start as well, and that cost them here at the end when they really needed to have everything together. That they couldn't do it. I personally think it's going to cost Lucien Favre his job. I think there's too much talent there, and to not win the league 2 seasons in a row, especially last year when you had the point gap that they had, and then they blew it. And then this year, when you have an inconsistent Bayern, you get off to a bad start. You never really fully seem to figure out the way you want to play. And obviously, they've been doing well since Holland's joined and they have Jadon Sancho. But there's so many good young players there that I think it'd be right of Dortmund to possibly expect some more, maybe more consistent from the manager side of things. So because at some point, it's just like I don't want Bayern to win. That's why Serie A comes back as anyone but Juve.
No, and that's the thing. It's like people, yes, obviously Bayern has always dominated, but not like this. Like if you go back to the 90s, right? It's like Bayern win 2 in a row, 3 in a row, and then you get like a random championship from Wolfsburg, or like Dortmund is usually the second best team, or others. But Bayern have won this will be 8 in a row. Like the inequality in football is definitely growing. Like you see it in Serie A, you're seeing it in Bundesliga, despite the fact that Bundesliga is like perched up as this like competitive, fair league. Has it really? Not the last decade, like. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I was hoping for a different result, but I really wasn't hopeful for Dortmund because like we've seen the same, script the last 5 years at least, really since Klopp left.
Yeah, and then also Dortmund have an even harder road ahead of them, really, with Erling Haaland going off early in the match. And so, I mean, I think it's a bit harsh, maybe, if Favre gets, if he gets sacked, that's a bit tough on him, because,
That's
he's
football,
got...
though.
Yeah, it is, but it's also in a pandemic when, it's, the guys... weren't even really match fit. You have Jadon Sancho coming on from the bench for 2 straight matches. I mean, that's really, really tough. So, but anyway, moving on from that, in the Premier League, 4 more people from 3 Premier League clubs have tested positive for coronavirus after a 3rd round of testing, and there were 1,008 tests carried out on Monday and Tuesday. And a 4th round will take place on Thursday and Friday, with up to 60 people from each club to be tested. That's, I think, not really actually too surprising, actually. But and that's to note that these aren't just players; these are maybe staff and also, just anybody that's around the club. But May 27th. They said that Premier League clubs voted to resume contact training, and then they're going to look to June 19th or 20th to have the preferred dates to recommence the Premier League. What do you guys think? I mean, it's definitely that was a mouthful of information, but Mark, what do you think?
No, I just looked at the date. So that June 20th would be like about 3 weeks. I don't know. It seems a little soon. I mean, I just hope that at least they're doing a lot of tests, so that's good. So, I guess they definitely, the Premier League has to figure something out to finish the season. And then
a lot of money at stake, a lot of broadcast deals, and they've been discussing rebates.
Results are at stake as well. Like who's going to finish in the top 4 and all that jazz. So.
You'll have some clarity by then, though, because I mentioned on the stream last night, like City are having their appeal heard, I think, like the 2nd week of June. So, like, that should figure out if City's going to get tossed out of the Champions League, which fingers crossed, and if justice is done for cheating and lying about it, they'll get chucked out of the Champions League. And at that point, and if you get the 2 matches played, really you just need to play 2 more games, and Liverpool should be league champions. And if you get that, and then that City's out of the Champions League, it might be a lot easier, just go on a points per game basis and just look at it and be like, all right, cool. We have our results. We have our top 4, or top 5, City's out, whatever. Happy days, bish, bash, bosh. The problem is relegation, and that's the biggest issue there. And I think that's what they're most concerned about. These clubs don't want to go down. And if the Premier League doesn't relegate clubs, which I think these clubs have a fair argument to not get relegated, because who knows who can get hot. I mean, look at Leicester a few years back, right? Leicester under Nigel Pearson are bottom. Right? They have to make this great escape, and they somehow figure it out. And then is it the very next season they become Premier League champions, or 2 seasons down the line from barely surviving they become Premier League champions? So how can you relegate a club if something like this happens? So it's like the Premier League is in a really difficult spot because they have the most money out of everybody riding on this. They're already going to have to send some back. and that's probably why they want the whole season to get played, because the more games they play, the less TV money they have to send back. But I mean, I think the other thing with the Premier League, though, is that you also have the highest paid players, and some of those players don't want to play. N'Golo Kante is, I think, hesitant to play at Chelsea. Sergio Aguero doesn't want to play. Troy Deeney doesn't want to play for Watford, who are a team trying to avoid relegation. You have players getting infected at Brighton and Bournemouth, which are relegation-threatened sides. So I want it to come back because I want Man United to finish top 4 and have the team play well because everyone's healthy, which is amazing because no one was healthy when this thing started. But at the same time, like you talked about earlier, that is everyone going to be safe? Is it going to be able to test? Is it going to get done? Whew, yeah. I have no idea.
It's going to be a conundrum for sure. But anyway, moving on to Serie A. Italy will decide Thursday if and when Serie A will return. And speaking of Serie A and really all the other leagues that we talked about, there are a lot of quarantine haircuts that, I mean, yes, this is in jest that we're showing these. And yeah, some of them were really not great. I mean, you have, from the likes of Aubameyang's just grown out kind of hair to Cristiano Ronaldo's kind of Robert Smith Cure haircuts. Where
I feel like I dig it. I think he rocks it.
Yeah.
It's very throwback to the 90s, though.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's about to, kind of write a kind of emo pop tune, and and I might enjoy it.
Yeah, he can pull that look off. You can totally see it.
Right, and Sadio Mane with his unfortunate hairline there, and N'Golo Kante, who knew he actually even had hair.
And, has hair.
He's been voluntarily bald this whole time. That's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Right, yeah, it's like, it's like when David Beckham, buzzed his hair, and everyone was like,
yeah.
Why did you cut your beautiful locks off? And it's just like...
That's like Michael Jordan retiring, just robbing the world of a gift.
Right, exactly. And, you have the likes of Hector Bellerin with the, I think, proper quarantine haircut, like I mentioned before, which is the buzz cut. And, but do you guys have a favorite of these that kind of stuck out to you, good or bad?
Yeah, I think me and Mark both have a pretty common favorite.
Listen... Now, well, I don't know if this is your standard, but for me, now we know why Liverpool is doing so well. They have Jesus, Alisson, Christ in goal. Amazing. He
looks like Jesus. That was the one. He looks like Jesus.
Ringer.
Although also Bobby Firmino with the little afro kind of thing, mustache combo he's got going on. She pulls that off, but not Alisson Becker. That is one majestic mane right there.
With the full goatee and everything.
I bet Jurgen Klopp fully endorses that.
Yeah. He can't. He's not allowed to cut his hair anymore.
Jurgen Klopp's a man of long flow at times as well in his past, so he probably appreciates that.
It's true.
Yeah, my favorite, I think, is Dani Ceballos' hair, where he just, kind of just let it curl and just grow, and it's very similar to Cristiano Ronaldo's, but I think Ronaldo had his wife cut his hair or something like that as well, I believe, right? So it's a little bit more clean cut, but Dani Ceballos just kind of let it, grow wild, do whatever he wanted, and I mean, I haven't been doing that. I've gotten my girlfriend to, fade my hair, and I'll give a little sneak peek to the viewers here that, it's not really quite working out, but but we will move on from that very quickly and swiftly. So anyway, that does it for the news, and gets us to our little kind of weekly housekeeping that we have. So it's just to follow our Twitch for new streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Tanner is having a ball, raging, engaging with the viewers, and it's been a load of fun. So join us.
I hate that game so much. I hate that game so much. I want to win in spite of it.
Tune in as we might have some other games that we'll play in the future, but either way, I think it's must-watch viewing for me at least. So hopefully you guys.
It's probably more entertaining for the viewer than it is for me.
It is quite entertaining, let me tell you.
I'm sure living it is definitely difficult. I mean, no one wants to lose to an OC and then have to restart it and whatnot.
What happened? We never lost. We won. We won 2-1. Alvarez for the winner.
We're checking the tape. Rolling the tape back. But,
Look, it was we didn't do the proper admin before we did the stream. No, that's on my part. It was an administrative error, and we had to correct the administrative error. Because obviously that's the only way it would ever happen, right?
we're not so sure about that, but we'll just join us on Twitch and you'll see what happens next. But anyway, that does it for the news and moves us to the second edition of me versus Tanner in the Soccer Trivia Showdown.
Let's
Mark,
play a game that I win at. Yay!
Ooh, someone's talking a lot of trash for you've only won barely against me. Ooh. And yes, you won against Mark, but that's a separate.
Can Tanner keep it
Mark
going?
smoked himself, to be fair.
Ooh.
Dang.
Ooh.
You know what? Hey, Mark, if you want to throw some easy ones my way, that's totally cool. No, I'm not condoning you cheating whatsoever. I'm beating him fair and square. Yeah. Here we go.
So, will Tanner keep his win streak going? Will AJ will AJ break it? Will AJ approve of my questions? We'll find out all of that now. So, to break the tie, I think we're all familiar with the rules here, but we'll just kind of go over it quickly. First, we're going to have the first question to determine who goes first, or the tiebreaker question. So, do you guys have pen and paper? And AJ, I need to see you. Need to see that beautiful mane.
Oh, I thought...
Oh, hold on. Thought I did.
There you go.
There we go.
Why is he? See... I thought you were hiding. I can't really see that.
Yeah, the laptop that I have is nose cam for whatever reason. So.
Interesting. All right. So, this player was drafted out of the University of Kentucky.
Oh, I know who played the Kentucky.
You said drafted?
Yeah, see, that's the point, AJ. He said drafted, and I was just like, the guy I'm thinking of was not drafted. What's the guy's name that
Does somebody have an answer?
I don't think so, man. Drafted?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say Peterson.
Oh. I don't know. I think we had the guy that had the dream tryout. What was his name? Barajas?
Yeah.
Barajas?
Yeah.
No,
it's Barajas.
Was it Kevin Barajas? Because that's what I'm thinking. But he played at Kentucky, but he wasn't drafted at Kentucky.
He wasn't drafted, and that's where I'm like, drafted.
Yeah.
No, it's neither of those, so we're gonna hold on to that.
Okay. All right. So, you have an alternate question, or do we want to pick whatever number that's closest?
Or AJ can just go first. I'm fine with that.
No, I don't care.
Oh wait, does it matter in the? Oh, it's a tiebreaker.
It's a tiebreaker.
Actually, yeah, we could do that. We'll do this. Since Tanner has been winning, he'll get the tiebreaker.
Okay, fair.
All right, cool. Okay, so into round
off to a great
one.
start.
Yeah. This is fine. It's all fine. It's in the room on fire. So, yeah, in the first round, each question is worth a point. Both players will have the opportunity to answer. Maximum of 3 points from this round. So, first question. Brad Guzan made his debut versus this team. His Atlanta United debut versus this team.
And then was it?
No, it's tough.
Okay. I put mine down. I'm done.
All right.
You guys have an answer? What do you got?
I said FC Dallas.
I've got Sporting KC.
Oh,
Sporting KC. Both of those are incorrect. It was OCSC.
See, that was my first thought.
Exactly.
Was it the Orlando game? Was it the last game at the Dodd? At Bobby Dodd, or was it the one at home?
No,
No, it was one away. Yeah.
The one that Tito scored the banger, right?
Yeah.
Well, because that game wasn't that game in the last game at Bobby Dodd the same week. Didn't we play them 2 games in a row? Wasn't like or something really silly where we played them really close together and it was just like
the
what
span
the hell?
of a week.
Yeah. MLS did like doing that. Yeah. That's true.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That was my first thought. Damn, I should have gone my gut.
Second guessed. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Second question. This player scored his first Atlanta United goal versus Orlando.
Oh, wait. I just can do this. All right, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Yep. Answers?
Pity.
Marco.
It is Pity Martinez.
Yeah.
Que loco que está. Yep.
Yeah, it was 1-0.
Yep. What's that
AJ,
one?
didn't you ask that question in one of our ones?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh.
It was close though. I think it was a close question. I think I might have said P.T. Martinez scored in this or whatever. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There was some wording that was similar, maybe.
I remember, but I also knew that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Final question. Who led the team in shots on goal in 2017?
Oh.
On goal. Okay.
Yeah. Shots on goal.
Oh. No,
Yeah.
I'm still with this. No, I'm sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it too.
All right.
All right, both
I said
ready.
Miguel Almiron.
Tito Fischalba.
But I was thinking Tito was who I was waffling between.
And AJ has tied it. It was in
Nice.
fact Tito
Boom.
Fischalba.
I knew that Miggy led the team in shots, but I was like, were they on target? And then I was just like, nah, F it, we'll just go with it. But I was like, the only other person that could have been was Tito because Joseph was injured so much.
Exactly.
He still
He was
scored, what,
starting up top
17
a lot.
goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he scored 19. Yeah.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
Damn. In 17 games, that's why. It was 19 goals in 17 games.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, he played like half the season and scored 19 goals. It was crazy.
So on to round 2. So each player will have 3 questions. They're worth 2 points. If you go to multiple choice, they're worth 1 point. If you don't get it right, your opponent has a chance to steal. So we're tied at 1, I believe. So that means we agreed that Tanner would go first in this scenario. So Tanner, who assisted Tito's goal of the year in 2017?
Ooh.
Greg Garza, it was off a throw-in.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is very precise. Correct. It was in fact a throw-in.
Bammin.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, well done. All right. AJ. This player scored the final goal at Bobby Dodd.
Oh, you got that, homie.
Do I know?
Yeah, come on now. You should have this without even...
You shush.
I need to make sure. Hold on. Let me think about it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be right. Just if it's that easy. Is it? Is it though?
It is. It's as easy as you think it is. Just go with your gut. You know this answer.
Tanner
I'm being
clearly-
positive.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
Alright.
you know this answer.
All right, we got it.
Tito Fischalba.
And
Yes.
AJ scores
Yes.
the equalizer like
'Cause it
Tito
was-
did versus
Yes.
Orlando.
'Cause it was, what, 94th?
Yeah.
Was it 94th minute? I
very
missed that.
very
I had to work that game. I was so mad. I missed that game. Because I was like, I was watching it on my phone. I was just like, come on.
My mind exploded. In the.
Kaká scored a banger in that game, too. Kaká took our soul with his goal. And it was just
Yeah.
like, yo,
Right.
respect.
Yeah.
That's why I was
But-
so mad. Because I missed Kaká doing like a scoring a worldie. And like, Kaká's an incredible player. And I was just like,
It's true.
damn.
But we, I think as a supporter group, or a supporter section in the whole stadium, we came back really loud, really like, we got this, don't worry about it, team. So yeah, that's why we came back, I think, because we believed.
Yeah, I heard the atmosphere was wild. I'm so sad I missed that.
Yeah.
That was the only game I missed at the Bobby Dodd.
That's one to miss, man. Damn.
No.
Yeah.
They were all classics, though, I feel like.
I know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they really. I know. Yeah, even the one I went to, I definitely felt like was a classic. And yeah, for sure. All right, so back to Tanner, tied at 3. Who has made the most appearances for Atlanta United?
Julian Gressel, final answer.
That is correct. He's made 3 more appearances than Perez and Lorenowitz. All right, back over to AJ.
Why are you laughing before you ask the question? Whoa, man.
Because Tanner did answer that very quickly. So, but
Okay.
anyway, in a 2015 match versus Almiron, this player started and scored a game winner.
Oh, I know the answer to this, I think.
Is it Tito Pichalba again?
Yeah, that's my gut. That's what I think. Because you had a question about them playing against each other, I thought. But I don't know if he started and scored. But like, I just know that they played against each other.
Hold on, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Ooh, Tanner has a chance to steal.
Oh, really? I don't freaking know because I swore it was Tito. Who else played in the Argentinian league at the time? Pity Martinez.
That is also incorrect. It
Yes.
was
Was it Yamil
Yamil Assad. Yep.
See, my first thought again was Emil Assad, but I was like, did he play? I remember he was hated down there anyway, so I was like, did he play? Damn.
All right. Yeah.
That's a tough ass question.
Yeah. That's.
I knew it though in a way, so yeah.
I was like 2015 versus Almiron. You know what league he's in, so I was like,
Yeah.
maybe
but-
down
I
there.
narrowed it down. I mean, it was one I was.
You can
it was
only
3
narrow
people.
it down, though. No one knows for sure that.
No, I know, but I'm saying like we didn't know, but like it's not like we could have gotten that right because it was 3 people because you said Tito, which was my first thought, and I was like Pity or Yamil. That was the only other people I could think of. So
I mean, there could have been some others. LGP.
well, my gut was right, so we'll go with the gut after Tito. Ask the next question.
All right. Tanner, we all remember the Kevin Kratz game.
Yes.
This player also scored a brace in that game.
I'm gonna say Joseph Martinez. Final answer.
AJ, you could tie this up. This player scored a brace in the Kevin Kratz game.
Ooh, let's see.
I know who that game was against.
Well, of course, but trying to figure out who else scored and. Good lord. I think I know, but it's not. I'm just not sure.
Come on, you got it, dude.
All right. Man, I'm waffling. I'm waffling between a couple
I
players.
hate it. That's how it was. That's how it was with Pity and
which one to
Yamil.
choose.
That's how it was with Pity and Yamil. I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, they both did it. Which one is it?
Oh my god.
Throw the dart. You got it.
I'm just gonna, I think by deducing how many goals, God man, I'm gonna say Tito again.
Incorrect. Miguel
Okay.
Almiron lined up for a penalty in that match, and then also scored an open play goal.
Dang.
Oh, yeah. that was a tough one. That was tough.
That's not what it works. It's like there's 3 possible players that I thought of, and I was just like, we'll just go with the most likely. So, I think because it was later in the season, I want to say. So,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. It was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Joseph. All right.
And I think he got man of the match in that one too, though, Joseph Martinez. So it's not a bad shout, but
Yeah.
Wait, in the Montreal match?
in the Montreal. No, for the Kevin Kretz. Okay, which one are we talking?
Kevin Cat's free kick goals were against Montreal
Yeah.
because he scored them both in front of the supporter section. Yeah.
I was thinking New England for some reason. The 7-0.
Oh,
He did score one of those.
Because he did score
It
a
wasn't
free
the
kick
double.
in that game.
Yeah,
he
it
did
wasn't
score a
the
free
double.
kick, but it wasn't the 2.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I didn't know about that other free kick.
Oh no! But that was just 1 versus the 2. So
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good. That's a great question.
Yeah, I rate that question.
Yeah.
All right. AJ, you got one more question.
Mhm.
Okay. Mikey Ambrose has one career MLS assist versus whom?
Holy shit.
Obscure player, his assist was versus.
No.
Multiple choice, take it, because I got nothing.
Damn.
May as well narrow it down.
Yeah, multiple choice, man.
Okay. A, Montreal. B, Orlando. C, Chicago. D, DC United.
I know which answer I'm picking if you don't get it.
D, DC United.
That is incorrect. Tanner with a chance to steal the point.
I'm going C, Orlando City for the memes.
Wait, is your answer C or Orlando? Because it was...
Isn't Orlando City C?
I thought I said B for Orlando.
Whichever one Orlando is, that one, because it's a meme.
Okay, it is actually against Orlando. Yes.
LOL. That's why I went with it, for the memes.
That is, yes. Mike Ambrose has one career assist. It is against Orlando in the 4-0 win.
Irony abounds, especially considering he played for them for a year, which is why it's more of a meme.
Yeah. All right, so that
Shot,
makes it
dark, Kobe.
So it makes it 6-3 to Tanner, I believe.
Is it? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, because I got the 2 right. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
AJ got 1 2-pointer, you got 1 2-pointer, and then you got the 1-pointer, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so on to the final round. The first question is worth 2 points. The second question is worth 3 points, and the third question is worth 5 points. Each competitor will choose a category at random, and there's a maximum of 11 points from this round. And so, Tanner, what is your pick?
I'll pick 4 for the number of times I've won this game.
AJ, what is your pick?
Well, then I must pick 1 for the one time that I will be winning this game, at least so far.
AJ, you must love statistics. Tanner.
Bruh, how come every time whoever I'm playing gets statistics? Because Mark got statistics, swear down, every time. It felt like. Or 3 out of 4.
It wasn't every time, but I think
Was
it's
it
because
twice?
I think it's because it rotates, and there's only 4 categories, so I'm sure it has to be that.
Tanner, you got Latin America.
That's the one time I lost this game. I got there.
All right, AJ. How many Open Cup goals does Joseph have?
Damn, son. That's a bit mean, this question.
Yo, I'm right there with you, bro. I feel for you. I got no clue. Just Kobe that bitch and pull up.
10 seconds.
I'm gonna say 5.
5 Open Cup goals is incorrect. It's only 2 Open Cup goals, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So, AJ again. What is the all-time goal difference, all competitions, between Atlanta and Orlando?
Oh, shit.
+6.
+6. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. It's +11.
Okay.
I thought +11.
17
I guessed that in my head. No bullshit. I was like, it's either 9 or 11. We'll just say 11. Shot in the dark.
All right. Final question, AJ. You must get this to extend the game.
Yep.
How many appearances did Michael Parkhurst have? Michael Parkhurst have.
Mikey Parkhurst.
I know, yeah, I don't know why I said that. How many? Yeah, Parkey. How many appearances did Parkey have for Atlanta United?
Yo, I'm so mad at you for these questions, man.
Oh my god.
My god.
I want you.
I have to get like
I
exact
want you to get
two.
this. I want you to get this right.
I have to get exact. That's ridiculous. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna answer it.
You may think it's ridiculous. Think hard. Think hard about the postseason.
Hey, oh, we're counting postseason too? MLS appearances or just all appearances for Atlanta United? Playoffs included? Like what are we including here?
MLS.
Playoffs?
That was
League.
MLS include league and playoffs. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
League and playoffs? My god, son.
I say you should get another 5-point question from the categories. This is from a different one,
This
not
is-
called mine.
Mean. Oh
I
my
am
god.
fully in
man.
support of this because I have not a clue, and that is hard as shit.
Shot in the dark because it's impossible for me to know. He played with us for 3 seasons, so plus some playoffs. I'm gonna go with, but he didn't play every single game, so I'm gonna say like 87.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
It was actually 100 appearances.
Okay.
That's from the team website. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's from.
Give him
Oh my
another
God.
one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. All 3 questions were a bit ridiculous. But I concede the loss. I concede the loss to Tanner. That's he got his questions right, the ones that he got in front of him. So what can you do?
Man. Okay, I guess I win again. I feel cheated.
No,
my
yeah.
God.
No, when you asked like what appearances, that's when I thought. But I think it's all of his appearances.
I say AJ should get another question.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, we'll just make the questions better. We'll make sure that they're attainable, at least even like because it's this. It's like if it's multiple choice for some of them when they're really difficult, that's easier, right? But
That's a
when-
multiple choice question.
Yeah, that's a multiple choice question. But when you, it's something that's like, I can know it. I can know it in the 3rd round. Like, when it's statistics, like, yo, that's some hard ass shit. Like, I have to, like, go through the entirety of his playing career in Atlanta United. Like, it's not like one score line where, okay, I can remember that. But the entirety of Parkey's existence with Atlanta United.
No, because I remember
Oh my God.
I remember them making a big deal about it. Like that's why.
He did, and I remember it now. I remember
the on the field kind of pop and circumstance, but under pressure, that is difficult.
So,
But,
I mean,
that's
that's
more of a
5-pointer,
multiple
so I
choice.
get it, but still.
It's a 5-pointer,
ouch.
but I think that's still a multiple choice question. I think, I think many of these.
You designed the game, AJ.
I did, but I mean, I've been asking the questions, so it's been a different, the questions were kind of in my scope, and then, if somebody else takes over, it's obviously gonna be different. So, no slight on the way you're asking them, or your prowess or anything like that, Mark. It's really just, I need to kind of figure out how to make this kind of more equal for both of us.
I'm Bayern Munich right now up in this bit.
Oh my god. But anyway, so it's first to 3 in the Soccer Trivia Showdown will win the cup. So I have my work cut out for me in the coming weeks. But anyway, that does it for the Soccer Trivia Showdown for this week. And thank you, Mark, for hosting. You did an admirable job in spite of any of the comments that we had. But anyway, so moving on to the question of the day, and we're going to switch it up a little bit. And pretty much we're asking, because many of us probably have a little bit of wanderlust right now, if there was a country that you wanted to visit in this when this quarantine is over, what country is that? Because I feel like, I definitely want to maybe go to an Asian country and maybe get some really bomb food. I'm missing that hardcore right now. and I want to get away from the United States a little bit right now as well. But anyway, you guys leave your comments in the comments below. We're looking forward to what you have to say. But anyway, that pretty much does it for the entire show. For Tanner and Mark, I'm AJ. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.